Peter Marlow has done something terrible. He knows this because they are after him. They haunt his every waking moment and they plague his sleep with nightmares. Unfortunately, Peter doesn't know what exactly he's done to warrant their hate. He's desperate to turn himself in, but first, he needs to determine his hideous crime. Late one restless night, while running from them, Peter finds himself on a dark doorstep. By a twist of fate, it's the home of his closest friend and comrade in arms from the Great War, Jack Dawson. Can Jack help Peter? A few weeks ago now, I played a game called The Gnawing Hunger, which was a really cool narrative kind of story-driven game. And it inspired me to check out some of the other games by the same developer. So that's how we got here today to But What Did I Do? I really enjoyed playing The Gnawing Hunger, which if you would like to see that video, I will link it in this video somewhere and also down in the description. Okay, so this is Peter Marlow. Can it really be that late? It's a very cool art style, not something I've seen in a lot of pixel style games. Oh, look at him doing a little boogie. Okay, let's go talk to the squid lady. Talk to Rose. Good evening, Mr. Marlow. What a pleasure to see you. Rose, you look different tonight. I had my hair curled, you noticed, sir. Can I help you with anything, Mr. Marlow? I really need to make a quick phone call. I'm sure Mr. Dawson wouldn't mind. You are his best friend, after all. The phone is right down the hall, sir. Okay, thanks, Rose. I'm assuming that she doesn't always look like a squid monster, but maybe that's them. Press E to call the police. 12th precinct. Sergeant O'Malley speaking. It was me. I did it. What did you do? Where do I even begin? All right, buddy, go to bed, sober up. Call us back if you remember what it is you did. What did we do? Peter knows something. American neoclassical. Jack has taste, I'll give him that. Okay, let's go back and talk to Rose. Hello again, Mr. Marlow. Rose, I have a question and I need to speak with Jack. Mr. Dawson is in his study, sir. Well, to be more precise, he is and he isn't, sir. What does that mean? I understand you entirely, or what on earth does that mean, Rose? I think this is the more interesting one. I'm gonna go with I understand you entirely. Oh no, he is and he isn't. His body is, but his soul isn't. Yes, sir. You of all people would understand. Is this our crime? Are we in a nightmare? The trail of blood leads directly to the study. An incomparably grotesque sound comes from within. I should not proceed without a weapon. Yeah, sounded like visceral growls. Let's ask Rose again. Yes, Mr. Marlow, did you find Mr. Dawson? That sure didn't sound like my friend Jack, Rose. I'm afraid none of us are what we once were, Mr. Marlow. Are you afraid to enter the study? Now that you mention it, I could use a weapon. I don't think you'll want my mop, sir, but there must be something in the house you can use to defend your mortal coil. Why don't you speak to Mrs. Duchamp in the kitchen? I am very bad at accents. I try and do them very well, so I apologize if my British accent turns into something else in the course of the dialogue. Bless my heart, Mr. Marlow. What are you doing in my kitchen? Mrs. Duchamp, do you know what I've done? We all know, dear. Did you hear the iron footfalls of the Furies? They've almost caught up with you. Can't you just tell me what it is? I may not, my dear. Do you need anything else? What's on the stovetop, chef? Since Claire's here for dinner, I'm making her favorite bubble and squeak. Claire's here? My wife, Claire? Doo-doo-doo. Of course, Mr. Marlow. She visits frequently, especially when you're out of town. Why do you look so pale? Maybe because my wife is potentially cheating on me? Never mind. Do you have any weapons I could borrow? I haven't got any guns or whatnot in here, my dear. And I'm afraid I really can't spare any of my sharp knives right now. But, you know, Charlie the valet keeps a revolver around for emergencies. I believe he's ironing in the master bedroom. Why don't you see if he'll lend it to you? Okay. So she's a crab. The other lady was kind of like this squid thing. A dinner table set for two. Is Jack having female company? I think he is, and I think it's your wife. Let's go into here. Oh, and this guy's an anglerfish. Okay, so there's some deep sea connection here. Press E to talk to Charlie. Good evening, Mr. Marlow. It's been a while, sir. Mrs. Marlow always gives your wishes whenever she visits, of course. Charlie, were you always a deep-sea anglerfish? I've missed your sense of humor, sir. You really should visit more frequently. But my wife, Claire, she visits more than I do. I'd say we sit here for dinner at least once a fortnight. You look pale, sir. Would you care for a glass of water? No need. I'm just looking for a weapon of some kind. I used to have a revolver, sir, to defend myself. Unfortunately, I was mugged and it was taken from me. Perhaps you could borrow Mr. Dawson's old cavalry saber? I keep it sharp, sir. It's in the sideboard in the dining room. Here, I'll give you the key. Of course, I trust you, sir. You're Mr. Dawson's oldest and dearest friend. I think I might see where this is going. It's interesting to have the notes chime every time we get a critical piece of information, especially regarding our wife. The key turns easily in the lock, and there it is, Jack's old cavalry sabre. Sabre? I'm definitely not saying that right. How many times did we save each other's lives back in the Great War? Hold tight, Jack, my boy. I'm going to rescue you one last time. I'd better head to the study now. And the music picks up. Can we talk to... Oh, we can't talk to anybody now. I guess our fate is sealed. Let's enter the study. Well, that looks more like a woman than the thing down here. E to talk to the monster.
Peter? What the hell are you doing here?
Who's that vile succubus riding on your head? The succubus flaps her wings at you.
Peter, it's me, Claire, your wife. I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Claire? The succubus oxblood lips curl into a familiar, seductive smile.
Yes, Peter, it's me, Claire, your wife. I'm sorry about all this. Can you put the sword down, please?
You almost had me there for a moment there, succubus. Oh no, are we gonna kill our wife?
Peter, stop! Stop! Peter! Ow!
Now it's your turn, demon. Oh no, she's dead. The demon emits a deafening bellow.
Peter, what did you do? We have to call the hospital. Can you give me that saber, please? Peter? Peter, stop! No!
They're dead. They're both dead. I shake my head, exhausted, but I did what had to be done. Are you sure about that? Now I owe Sergeant O'Malley a phone call. Oh no. Oh no. We've gone insane, and they're back to normal. Please don't hurt me, Mr. Marlow. Sorry. Not a step closer, Mr. Marlow. And to think that Mr. Dawson trusted you. I think it's time to turn yourself in, sir. I think so too. I think we turned ourselves in before we even knew. Sergeant O'Malley speaking. It's me again. I figured out what I did. Oh yeah, what'd you do, buddy? I killed my wife and my best friend. Wait a minute. Yeah, now you're listening. Where are you located, sir? Jack Dawson residence in the cul-de-sac. Don't move, do you hear me? Stay exactly where you are, sir. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sending a car right away. All right. Oh, a success. Peter will be punished for his crimes. What an interesting little story. I really like from this developer the gameplay style. Like the mechanics are very smooth and the stories are very interesting. I kind of like the sci-fi aspect and having a little bit of mystery mixed into a regular murder mystery horror story. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and comment down below. Also, if you like the rest of my content, please subscribe. It helps me a lot. And if you like this game in particular, then check out my playthrough of Gnawing Hunger by the same developer, which is on my channel, linked here and in the description. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.